Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM23. This is Youth Factory episode 32. We have the complication in this new season of not quite being good enough. We're actually even slightly outside the playoff zone at the moment, and we can't even get out of the first round here of the FA Cup, first qualifying round, against a lower tier division. The team we lower tier team from the division we just came from the level, the tier. So as we have to play a replay against them on the road. Now, we had quite a bit of squad rotation a couple of days ago. There were some players that were gone on international duty that are just getting back. We have a number of players injured. But one thing that is very notable as we go forward is that match load is quite high for the majority of the players here. That's a little worrying as we go forward, but we're going to have to try to get this result to go on. As much as the FA Cup doesn't matter, we're not going to win the FA Cup, clearly, but you'd like to get a little further than this, right? This time around, we really take care of business. 25-3 on the total shots, 12-3 with the on target, 71% possession, and 5 goals. 3 of those coming very late in the final 10 minutes. 4 of those coming in the tail end of the second half. It was a lot closer than it seemed. We just kind of blew the floodgates wide open at the tail end of that one. But 5-0, we do move on. But there's that match load already really kicking in, and it's going to be heavy for a while. So expect some challenges in the month to come. We're going to be taking things a lot faster over the course of this season and over the course of this episode. So let's proceed. Continuing on with the FA Cup, Kitching is in for Mortland, who is still coming back from his injury, but otherwise we are starting to get healthy. It's only been a week. We won our one league match during that stretch, but otherwise the match load, it's still heavy. And it's not easing off anytime soon. So watching out for those injuries as we proceed will be the big thing. Our opponent this time, Bishop's Stortford. They are on the same level as us, so not going to be an easy match, especially as we are on the road. We'll see how the team fares. We've got Weston Supermare in the league next on the road. That might be a difficult match. We have another away match right after that with Hendon, so difficult stretch. 4 away matches actually in a row, and we have come out on top. In fact, we did not even give up a single shot. That's big. That is big. And that red spot was not a red card. That is an injury for their man. 58% of possession and not giving up a single shot. We continue on into the third qualifying round. Now that we've reached the end of September, we're far enough into the season that all those new contracts that just ticked over at the tail end of summer, I've been able to go in and start offering new contracts. It's not in the too recent range. Remember, we have gone professional, so full-time contracts are important, but most of the team is still on either youth or part-time contracts. For the youth, no problem. It's a youth contract. It will adapt to your training schedule. But all those part-time ones, those guys are locked in on 2 days a week. We need to get them to full-time. So getting those contracts going was rather important. I've started just with the senior squad at this point, but we've managed to get 8 new contracts pending and should be signed here momentarily. Our 2 guys at the top, though, and Gordon and Redknapp at the moment, have 0 interest in signing new contracts. That could be problematic. We only had 2 guys on the senior squad. 3 guys that were at full-time already. So this, make that 4. There you go. 4 guys. Wasn't too bad. We're adding 8 to that list. That's going to put us at 12, and you still have a handful of youth players around as well. So we're just about running out of players with an excuse. In fact, really, it's just our 2 guys at the top, because Lanahan Penreese is one of the few that we already had on full contracts. So we're going to be down to Gordon and Redknapp that remain locked in, and at least they're 2 of our better players already, so we don't have to see them improve rapidly other players, this could and should be that boost. And once this wave of contracts gets signed, it's finally going to be time for me to step in and say, hey, look, we got full-time training going on now. We're spending a lot more time. We can afford to spread out what it is we are doing. And by spread out, I mean get into this screen, player by player. This is the individual training screen in their development section. And I've already dipped in here in the past to change positions, especially if they were midfielders, wide midfielders, or center midfielders that just don't have a spot in our formation, and teach them something new. Teach them a new position where they would fit in, where they are best suited to be part of our squad. You can see here Lanahan Penreese is developing quite well at the moment. He's making some rather strong, rapid progress. The only thing, though, of him that is rapid is his pace and a few of his mental attributes at the moment. He's got good technique, but he's got a lot of work to do on a number of areas. But what I'm talking about is there is that weaker foot training, which, by the way, weaker foot training, we don't want an Anthony, both as an abuser and as a left-footed only right winger, inverted winger, who's gonna always cut to their left. Always cut to their left. Why did they spend that money on him? Right, of all those signings that they did make, there's one clear bust, and it was the most expensive by far. Give me Sancho, give me Garnacho, give me literally anybody, but also give me the strength to stand by my morals. With their recent issues and their soon-to-be sell, I will not support Manchester United much longer. I had the willpower, I had the strength to walk away from the NFL. As in National Football League, as in American football, tackle football, I have not supported the NFL in nearly a decade. I have no vested interest in the NFL anymore, and it's because of corruption. And I do have morals, I do stand by my morals, and I've walked away from that sport. I can walk away from Manchester United. It's not going to be easy, but I will do it. I will not support yet another Man City, yet another Chelsea, yet another Newcastle United, state-owned clubs, or clubs that are just going to straight up destroy the rules as they are written and find whatever loophole they can to exploit the sport and compete at a higher level than everybody else. Sure, I want Manchester United to win and be successful as a longtime supporter, but no, I do not and will not stand by them doing it in a manner that is against the rules. One of the reasons why I loved Manchester United was because they had the best academy on the freaking planet once upon a time. Class of 95, perfect example. While they might have brought some of those players in from other clubs when they were teenagers, they still brought them in. Cristiano Ronaldo was, 17, 18 when they brought him in out of Portugal, whichever club it was he came from, Benfica or something along those lines. That's still young enough that they are more or less your product. Man City's had one player come through their academy in what feels like a billion years. Obvious exaggeration, as the ownership structure has not been in place that long, but since that ownership structure came in place and they cleaned house and started fresh and spent absurd amounts of money, they've had one player come out of their academy. One. That's not where do you get the homegrown portion, right? There's rules. Oh, right. See, they constantly bend the rules to their own benefit. Yes. That's what I'm talking about here. Tangent. Let's bring that tangent back to what I was talking about. Sorry, I just ranted. Oops. Developing weaker foot does count into your current ability rating. Does count into that potential ability rating. I don't spend much time making everyone overly comfortable with their 2 feet, because it does play a factor in what their rating is. But the additional focus, these skills, while they also play in, they have a bit of use. Now, I do not want players that are terrible on their weaker foot. I'll develop them for a while on that one to get them at least comfortable on either foot. But I do not want a team full of 2-footed players when that's taking away from their potential ability otherwise. I'd rather see their skills develop and them just be, capable on 2 feet. The additional focus, though, this affects training, makes it hard for them to grow their potential, grow their attributes until you're going full-time. And so I wait until we go full-time. I wait until I have the players on the full-time contracts to bother with that. We will start taking those individual focuses, those weaknesses, and bring them along, or those strengths and make them better. Usually I'll take a biggest weakness on an important, say you need finishing because you're playing on top. I'm not playing him on top, but the AI certainly is. So working on finishing for Penrese, and I might as well do that now. While we sit just 7th in the league, we do continue on with our FA Cup journey, 3rd qualifying round now. Today's opponent, Walton and Hersham, were at home for a change here, and for this one, they are in that tier below, so they are in the 8th tier. We should be favorites here today. However, I have made some squad rotation, and we'll see how we do with that. McFadden, Thornhill gets it back. That's deflected out for a corner kick. Game's first corner kick, just over 1 minute played. One part of my squad rotation today is I had mentioned preseason that I was going to train Thornhill. I have no backup at the attacking mid position whatsoever. And Arthur is not really good enough to play there, but I've got him training in the position, hopefully getting better, and I'm training Thornhill to take over in that position eventually. He's not there yet, but we're going to go ahead and give him the start today, give him a chance to get a little more accustomed to that position, and depending on how this game goes. Nice ball there for Lanahan Penrese. Redknapp to inside Atkins. Lanahan Penrese close range. Should do better. We should be up 1-0 after that one. 4 shots already, though. They have had nothing as of yet. Little extra squad rotation in there. Lanahan Penrese, 12th goal of the season. Wow, what? So Maharo's not... That's not offside. That's a bad call. He's on the back shoulder of the guy, so he's clearly onside. Now Francis is offside there, and they get a corner kick. Okay, sure. He's a yard behind the man before the ball's ever played. Everybody's standing perfectly still, so it was really easy to see. 2 harsh calls on us back-to-back there. We should already be leading. I'm going to be really frustrated if we lose this thing, like, say, 1-0. Thornhill. Atkins inside. Nice shot. Good save. Mortland playing for the first time, at least under my guys, for quite some time. He's only cleared to play 75 minutes. I will play him roughly an hour or one half just to get him a little match experience. Kasungo Matumbo, great effort from close range. We're giving Gordon a day off, so our best player is resting today. We've, of course, got the Thornhill change as well. We're only going to be playing a half with Mortland coming back from injury. And we also have a center back replacement to get some rest in. And Evans gets the start. So can we overcome the squad rotation? So far it's looking like no problem. But goal line, the score line, Kasunga Matumbo, there it is. Gets the one that's going to count this time. Should be 2-0, but that's fine. Whatever. It is what it is. Deflected. It looked like it was deflected off his own teammate. Thornhill wins the header, but cannot find Sumaharo. Sumaharo has not done anything in this game yet. Very quiet. Every time we try to find him, the ball's getting cut out. But here's his chance. Looks like the keeper just got a leg to that one, pushed it just wide enough that it hit the post. If it didn't catch the leg, it hit the post anyway. And no goal on that occasion as we approach halftime. It's about time he does something, though. He's got just a 6.3 rating at this point. And his rating got lower, so I'm guessing that the keeper didn't get a save on that was just pushed wide. And we get second half underway. I'll go a little bit longer on Mortland. Atkins is pretty tired, but obviously we don't want to risk things with Mortland, so he's the priority today to get him off sooner rather than later. They said we might let him play up to an hour. If we had the game more in control, I'd sub him off that little bit earlier because he's having a great day. But no, we're not going to risk him regardless of what's happening in the game. Redknapp on the overlap here. Pulls it back for Atkins inside. Oh, did not take the right move on that occasion. And what do we have? Kitching. Kitching is in. 1 hour played. That was blocked. Kitching does not recover. They're going to get a chance inside. Francis, that's blocked. That's out for a corner. They've done nothing all game until suddenly one little mistake, and they nearly equalize. Evans, dangerous there for a moment. You can see the match flow, how we have absolutely dominated the momentum. McFadden, good possession there. Kitching. Samahuro turns. Having a terrible day. Let's get a sub in for him. Oh gosh, Gordon? No, we'll bring in Arthur. Let's see what Arthur can do on top. And maybe we want to make a double sub here. I'm going to leave Thornhill in place. We have, Wilkinson coming back from injury. That corner is cleared out and leads to a counter-attacking opportunity for Ashby. He holds the play up long enough to get some support, but that ends the highlight. 19-3 on the attempts. The domination has continued, but the scoreline has remained the same. I would have been a lot happier with that second goal had it stood, because I wouldn't be stressed. At the moment, I'm a little bit stressed. Atkins finds some space, curls that one around the keeper, and hits the roof of the net. And stoppage time. No time wasting necessary. Things have occurred rather rapidly. Poor giveaway there on the final, just prior to the final whistle, but we do finish the job, dominating the game and not getting the goal that should have stood. Luckily, it did not hurt us in the overall outcome. We move on to the fourth and final qualifying round of the FA Cup before you then begin the FA Cup proper. So we're a couple matches away now from where we are expected to get. We're really one match away. Big test for the fourth qualifying round. It's going to be Aldershot Town, and on the road. They are actively in the Vanarama National League right now, meaning in the 5th tier, 2 tiers above us, and we're on the road. That's going to be a big ask. That could be the end of the road for us. Could be. I waited until I got partway into the year to really start bothering with any staff changes that were going to be required. We had an expanded possibility to hire more. I've started doing that, and I've also started to look at upgrading particular positions, beginning with our assistant manager. Actually, Minchell has only been with us for about a year and a half as it is, but we've found even better at this point. It seems like turning professional has really started to make an impact, or at least the improved reputation that we have of level and of the club, whatever it may be, the reputation piece. James Harper is willing to sign with us. We're starting to get into bigger, better talents. He does all the same things that Mitchell does, and then more. And for just $3,000, it's an easy thing to replace. Couple changes to the side, but otherwise we're going to take that instant result here. What we have is the FA Trophy. Third qualifying round for this one. The opponent, Buckland Athletic. Devon County, so they're not too far away from us. It's one of those clubs that we passed up over the last season, as they are now a division below us, and we continue our journey on now in the 7th tier with them behind us in the 8th. But on the road with squad rotation, what's going to happen result-wise here? FA Cup 4th round, Aldershot Town. We're going to be opening the next episode with that one here in a little bit. It's a week away. Oh, wow. 6-0. 20-4 on the shots. 10-1 on target. 60% possession. Just a single yellow card from the young Kamara, who played left fullback today for us with that little bit of squad rotation to get some fresh legs out there. Gordon opens the scoring. Not until the 36th minute. Sumaharo scores just before halftime, but then he absolutely goes off in the second half, and Arthur gets on the board too. Nice to see the young players grabbing some goals for a change. Quick look at the squad and their performances so far this season. For one thing, we are now up to 4 players in the 70s range. Is it McFadden that's coming up? It's got to be, right? I think he was like a 69, now a 71, finally starting to make some progress. 16 starts on the year for him. That end of the squad, no problem. Those guys clearly get the majority of selection. Kitching is getting a majority of selection at center back over Hassel. Hassel does have 11 starts, though, so it's not like he's getting nothing. And what's his progress like? A 53. I want to say he was about a 51. So he has progressed a little bit. Maybe. Actually, you know what? I think he was in like a 48, 49 or something. So he's making progress too. Arthur's up to a 50 of 86, but only 6 starts for him, 2 appearances off the bench. The AI is not picking him up very often. I don't know what they're doing instead, as we don't have that attacking mid. Who's even getting all those starts? It's not coming from the U21s. 3 appearances off the bench. Ivan, Primus, and Percival. And down in the U18s, Guthrie has had 1 appearance off the bench. I think I was the one who brought him on for that one. And then Cameron Duncan, 5 appearances off the bench. And as a defensive mid, I'm pretty sure that one has a bit to do with the Mortland injury that we had there for a while, seeing him make the bench and then come in when needed. Adekunle making some progress. Got a few guys into the 50s now. Meanwhile, in the U21s, Coots, 49, almost able to contribute. Ivan almost able to contribute. But very much still, you got to rely on this senior squad. This year we didn't lose anybody this summer. Going professional really helped us out. Hopefully that retention piece of keeping these guys around for a little while will happen. Penrys has been picking up most of the time at striker. He's got 14 goals, 7 assists through 17 appearances. I've played him out on the left probably 4 or 5 times now. And then he's played, the other 12 or 13 on top. Gordon, 15 starts for him. Redknapp, 15 starts. Gordon's got 12 goals, 6 assists. He's got the majority of the XG. Both of them have 7.55 ratings. Our ratings are not phenomenal this year, and here is why. We do have some struggles. They are real. We are just 7th place, right behind Taunton Town. We do have a game in hand on most of the teams around us, and we're not terribly far off. We're 9 points off the top, and we've got 2 games in hand on Salisbury. That could right there, if you were to win both. Of course, that's a big if, because that's not what our record suggests. We win half. So, if anything, I would expect us to get 4 points out of that. That would put us at 28. That's still just right there with Truro City. There they are, ahead of us for now. So we have not passed up the other Cornwall club. Interesting turn of events with that one, but we are very much in position to be right there in the mix for the promotion playoffs. Salisbury looking a little strong here to start the year, but looking at that goal differential of the top teams, it's very much a 7-horse race right now for those 5 positions and for that one at the top, with Salisbury having a little bit of an edge, but goal differential wise, they're just right there with the rest of us. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.